He also said that the team is actively working very hard to get OCONNECT back up and running again. This is the priority at the moment. You know, I think that is really the first port of call personally that needs to be done, is to get OCONNECT back up and running. But what he wanted to be was as transparent as possible with what is going on. He also did say there is a lot of things he can't say just yet. He said, but all we need to know is that the integrity of the company, of what we are trying to do, is still true. We are doing our very, very best, and he is trying to be as accurate as possible with his communications to us so that we are up to date. I am getting off a little bit here from that part of the meeting yesterday, but right at the end of the meeting, I actually did say to him that we have his back. We are with him all the way, and we want to see this through as much as he does to the end. And he really did speak from the heart, I thought, about this, didn't he? When he was saying that he does look at this all of the time for the reason for him to keep on going. He doesn't want to let us down. He looks at us and thinks, yes, these guys need me to make a difference. We need Ash Mufareh to be successful in his plight, I suppose, to make sure that OnPassive works. And I thought that was a very poignant part of the meeting at the end. And if you haven't heard that part yet, I really do recommend that you go and listen to that. It was right at the end of the webinar. And I really thought that it showed that we are as an important part of this business as anything. Because without us, him knowing that we are behind him, that we want to see this through, that we are do it or die exactly the same as he is, then this really gives him the courage and conviction that he needs to carry on with what he is doing. Also, another important point that he brought up at the beginning was to really let us know that of our intelligence. He said, we are not stupid people. He said, I know that you know things aren't going as they should do. And for him to be as open and honest as about that takes a lot of guts, I suppose, is to know that we know that things aren't quite as they should. But also on the other side of things, I thought it was really important that he came out to say, listen, I'm getting beaten up here, guys, behind the scenes. You know, I'm every turn that I make and I think we're okay, somebody comes along and smacks me in the side of the head from another angle. And then I dust myself off and we go again. But him to say that I'm not giving up, we are going to make this work, we are going to get through this, then that for me really shows the integrity of this person. And why shouldn't we have his back? Why shouldn't we believe in him and stay the course? We're not being asked for anything more except for having that faith and conviction in him. We're not paying any extra money or anything like that. All we're doing is having the gratitude of our CEO to do what he is doing and saying, listen, boss, we've got you. We are here. We're not going anywhere. We're waiting. You just let us know and we will do whatever is needed. It showed when we asked for your 3 products. Well over 7,000 emails I've had, and I'm still getting people now. We've got enough, by the way. Okay, it really does show how engaged you people are out there. So full respect to absolutely everybody out there who's taken the time to send them in. I know it means an awful lot to our CEO. And those guys, not every single one, but a vast majority of them have been sent in so that he can see what is going on. He also then talked about behind this logjam that we are experiencing at the moment, there is an awful lot of things that are bubbling under the background that are really good. He said he didn't give us specifics about it, but one thing he did do was to say that they are there waiting and ready. They are just waiting for this part. He said, we will get through this bit, and once we have, then everything else is in place. He also then brought us up to date and gave us a little bit of a talk about marketing. Now, we've said from word go, this is his thing. Marketing is his field. He really does know the marketing arena. He's been super, super successful in the past, over the last 20, 25 years, as a prominent marketer in all areas of online. Obviously, mainly as an email marketer. And he gave us the example that at one point through this, he was sending out 80 million emails per day. That's more than a company called Groupon send out to their client base on a daily basis. And he said any link that he sent out was like printing money. He said because he had the knowledge, he had the know-how to be able to market like that, he said everything else just fell into place very, very easily for him. But he also said those days are gone. The way of marketing in the old format, he said they're dead and buried now. Why? Because ISPs and email servers, etc., are very hot on spam email now. They shift it out, sift it, put it into junk, so it never ever gets to the right people. He even found ways around that in those early days. But he said nowadays, he said that is not how to market. And he then brought us up to date with a brand new AI marketing strategy that he has developed with obviously his knowledge and know-how, and obviously other people. He said it's a revolutionary marketing and artificial intelligence, and also discuss focusing on leveraging the AI to generate traffic to real people, and at the same time being compliant within how all that marketing works. He said this really is a pure solution to marketing that nobody else is doing and nobody else has actually thought about. He said it really is going to not only shock you guys, but it's also going to shock the world as well, because this has never been seen before. He said, now, if you go back to what he said in the past, when I will only tell you when something is ready, even him telling us about this now means that it is ready. So that really was very, very excited. And I think he really wanted to give us some good news at the end of the bad news, if that makes sense. You know, not everything is bad news. You know, there's an awful lot of things happening at the moment behind the scenes. And this is one of the very good things that is there, that is going to make a huge difference for all of us when things get going. It was quite a short and sweet meeting. There wasn't much more outside of that was said. Obviously, it was expanded and a lot more else was discussed about as well. And again, if you want to listen to it in its entirety, then you can obviously pop onto this YouTube channel or any other one as well, and you can listen to it in its entirety. But I think it's pretty safe to say that we haven't been given a specific date for when things are coming back online. We do know that all hands are on deck to get this up and running again. We don't know the who's and the ins and the outs, and quite frankly, do we really need to know anyway? My guess is it wouldn't make any difference if we did know. We just want the company to still be here. We want the company to succeed in its journey to the end game, and the end game, end goal of the company is to have an ecosystem where people can come in and they can then purchase whatever they want to use from the product list that is in the ecosystem, and in return, we as affiliates will make commissions on those sales. It's a very simple, well thought out business. Nobody else, and I don't think anybody else would even look at doing it because of, I suppose, not only the problems surrounding it, but also because the cost effectiveness of it, it doesn't add up as far as their business logic is concerned. They have shareholders and they have people that have to be paid prior to anything else, and they all want to see profit. And I don't think the business profit margin that Ash Mufareh is showing would be anything that they would like to get involved in. And I don't think anybody else would have the staying power over this period of time, except for our CEO, Ash Mufareh, to see this through to the very end. And we are very graced to have him at that helm, to have the attitude that he has to see it through and make sure it works. So for me, it was a very good webinar. It gave us a little bit of bad, but also an awful lot of good. The bad parts we know anyway. He was just reiterating it in a different way. As far as all of the gubbins in between the pause that we obviously know with the commissions and the payments and the merchants and the web pages being offline, we already know that. That's no shock. He was just bringing us up to date that they are working behind the scenes. They are working their hardest. They are having knockbacks for various reasons that he wasn't going to get into. And really, he wasn't telling us anything that we hadn't already known or guessed. But what he wanted to do was, for the respect of us ourselves, he wanted to bring us up to date. But he also did give us some really good news as far as the AI marketing strategy that they have got earmarked, that they are going to put into place when we get going. Now, that part is very, very exciting indeed. If he can do what he did as an email marketer back in the 2005s to 10s to 14s, that region, do the same with the AI marketing, then really is going to be lookout time, isn't it? So, you know, I thought it was great to see him as always. I hope he comes and sees us more often rather than less often. I think it does all of us, himself and us, good to be part of the family as much as possible. And we really have got a special family here in OnPassive, haven't we? People outside of it don't get it, right? They don't understand. They don't get us, I suppose, is the best terminology. And that's absolutely fine. We're not here to explain why we are doing what we're doing. We're not here to explain or ask them to understand why we're doing it. All we want from them is to give them out, or give us their approval. All the rest of it, they're loving, and the rest of it will all fall into place in good time. I love OnPassive. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay and see this through right to the end. I haven't got anything else. I don't want anything else. I'm not looking at anything else. I know where my hat is laid, and it is firmly, firmly, firmly under the OnPassive tree. That's for sure. Anyway, guys, that's it from me for today. Have a very, very good day.